video is another video in the Hachette Disney Crochet magazine subscription series. For all those that are new to my videos, these videos are just a guide for everyone that subscribes to the Hachette Disney Crochet magazine series on how to make the squares. I do not own the copyright to these patterns, and the full patterns, some of the pattern but not the full pattern, won't be mentioned in this video. They're purely a guide to help those, or a tutorial to help those who have got the pattern already on how to make the squares. Unfortunately, if you haven't got the pattern there, you won't be able to make the squares with the video. So I do advise that you click off the video, but I hope that I will see you soon in one of my future videos where I use and make my own patterns, and I look forward to seeing you then. For all the subscribers to the Hachette Disney Crochet series, you'll notice the start of this video is a bit different. We've got a completed square here and not the starting picture of the magazine. And that's because Hachette messed up. So we're going to have to change the name of this square, because the square that this is actually called, I've already done a video called that. Way back in issue 24, in that video, we did a square called the Snow White Granny Square. Turns out that wasn't the Snow White Granny Square, that was the Belle Granny Square, and this is the Snow White Granny Square. Obviously I can't have two videos named exactly the same, but because it will just confuse everyone. So these squares are getting used on the same panel on the blanket. So for now, we're just calling issue 24 still the Snow White Granny Square. We will just keep it like that. And this one's the Belle Granny Square. It may be that when you come to finishing putting your blanket together, that you want to swap the two squares over to keep it like the order that the magazine has done it. But it's just a name essentially, isn't it? This is the Snow White one. Issue 24 is actually the Belle Granny Square. But for now, this video is going to be titled the Belle Granny Square, just to save any further confusion. I have had to make this video using downloadable instructions that Hachette Disney Crochet put on their website, or they put on their Facebook page. So I haven't actually got a copy of the instructions yet. I do believe they come with issue 67, and obviously we're on issue 48 at the moment. Is this issue 48? I believe it is. It is. I've just looked over my shoulder. It is issue 48. So that's why I haven't got the magazine page in front of me just here. But luckily Hachette did put them online, so I was able to download them. For this square, it's using 6 different colours, and the white is just for the border. So you need the sky blue, the coral, the royal blue, the vanilla, and the bright red, and then as I said, the white is just for the border. We're starting off this square with the vanilla, as you can see on the square just there. So if you want to go ahead and put a slip knot on your 4mm hook, we can get started. So with the slip knot of the vanilla on my hook, to begin with, we need to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We then need to form a ring, so we're going to slip stitch into the first chain. You can count back your V's from your hook, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. I need to go into this one here, pull up a loop and pull straight through. You can then chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. After that, we want to do 2 trebles into the centre of our ring. So if you hold either side of your circle that you've got there and pull it apart, and you'll find your centre. So yarn over, and then I'm going to go into the middle and pull up a loop, and I've got 3 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and then repeat that stitch again into the centre of the ring. Pull through 2 and pull through 2. We then need to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're now doing 3 trebles into the centre of the ring. So going through, pull through 2, pull through 2, there's 1, 2, and 3. You need to repeat the 2 chains followed by the 3 trebles into the centre of the ring as many times as it says in the magazine under round 1. When you have finished doing that, I will meet you at the end of the round and show you how to finish the round off. So I've done my last 3 trebles into the centre, can then chain 2, 1 and 2, and we need to finish off with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the 3 chains that we did at the beginning of the round. So count up 3, go into the 3rd, pull a loop through and pull it straight through the loop on your hook, and you've finished round 1. You can now fasten off the vanilla yarn, and we're going to be working with yarn B in round 2, which is the sky blue, and you can fasten it to any of the corner spaces. Now the biggest bit of advice I can give you for this square is to fasten in your ends as you go. I've already knotted mine and cut them ready to glue down like I've shown you in past videos. But with all the colour changes, I've made one of these recently and all my ends got so muddled up, and it probably took me twice as long as it should have done, because there were so many ends at the back and I kept getting confused. So I know it's a pain in the neck to do them as you go, but actually when you've finished you'll thank yourself, because you'll only end up with like 2 ends to sew in, which will be great. Anyway, let's move on to round 2. So I have joined the sky blue to a corner space, and now I need to chain 3. 1, 2 and 3. After that, I need to do 2 trebles into the corner space. So yarn over into your corner, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. 1 more treble into the corner space. And now into the next corner, I want to do 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles. So there's 1, 2, and 3, and now chain 2, 1 and 2, and then 3 more trebles into that space. So there's 1, 2 and 3. You need to repeat the 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles in the next 2 corners, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. Into the last corner space, we want to do 3 trebles. 1, 2 and 3, then chain 2, 1 and 2, and then we want to do a slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the beginning of the round again, and then you can fasten this one off as well. We're going to be working with yarn C, the coral, in the next round, and you can join that to any of the corner spaces. So this round is where the colour changes are going to start, and we're going to be working with the coral and the royal blue. So for now, I've joined my coral to a corner space and I've put it onto my hook, and we then need to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. We then want to do 1 treble into the corner space, so yarn over into your corner, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and it's this 2nd treble where we're going to be changing colour. So yarn over and into your space and pull up a loop so you've got 3 on your hook. You then want to yarn over and pull through 2, and here's where we're going to be changing colour. So I've also got my royal blue here, and I want to put it over my hook. As you can see, the way I'm holding it in my left hand there, I'm covering up both the working yarn and the non-working yarn tail just to make sure it doesn't come off of my hook. I'm sort of pulling it taut. You then want to pass your work over into your left hand so you can pull through the royal blue through the last 2 loops that are on your hook. After you've done that, I'd recommend pulling on your working tail of your coral colour just slightly, just to close that loop that's around the blue even more, because we don't want our tension to get too loose and have uneven stitches. I would then recommend putting that one over the front of your work, because we're going to want to crochet over it, because we will be working with the coral at some other point in this square, or on this round even. So I'm going to drop my non-working yarn of the blue. I'm going to put that where the coral non-working yarn is. Well, I've got those two over my fingers just to keep them out of the way. And I can pull on this blue now to tighten the loop as well. If you want to pull on both at the same time, you can. So you want to focus on keeping the coral aligned with the top of your work like that, so we can crochet over it, and then we've got it to be able to use in the future. At the next corner, I expect we will be using it as soon as we've used it in this corner. For now, we want to do 3 blue trebles into this middle space, and we want to change colours again on the 3rd treble. So I'm yarning over and I'm going into that space and pulling up a loop and doing 1 treble. You can see that one's quite loose at the moment. I will show you how to sort that in a second. Then there's 2, and this is the 3rd where we're going to change colour. As you can see, I've kept my coral along the top of my work, and it's currently coming out through the base of that 2nd treble that I've just done. If your coral is over here, then you haven't crocheted over it. So let's change colours again and do our 3rd treble into the space. So yarn over and into your space and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. I'm then going to take my blue and drop it over the front of my work, pick up my coral, yarn over and pull through the last 2 stitches, and I've changed back over to the coral. So I said I would show you how to tighten that stitch. You can see we've got a big blue stitch here. If you just pull on your non-working tail, it will make that stitch smaller, because it's where we haven't tied this one in yet, or fastened this on properly to our work. So going back into the coral, into the corner you want to do 3 trebles, 2 chains and 3 trebles, and we need to change colours again on the last treble. We need to remember to crochet over the blue. So I'm putting the blue back on the edge of my work, so I remember to crochet over it. So I'm yarning over, I'm going in through, and you know you're crocheting over the stitch that you want to. When you go through your space, you can see it over the top of your hook. You can see the royal blue there on top of my work, along with the sky blue space that we're going through there. So I'm pulling up a loop, yarning over, pulling through 2 and pulling through 2 again, and there is 1 treble. There's 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, and 3 more trebles, changing colour on the last treble. So there's 1, 2, and now we're going to change colour. So pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Put your coral at the front of your work, get your blue and pull it through the last 2 loops, and now you can swap back to the blue. So my coral is on top of my work, so I remember to crochet over it. With my blue, I'm going into the next space and doing 3 trebles and changing colour on the last treble. So there's 1 treble, there's 2, pulling up a loop, pulling through 2, putting it over the front of my work, picking up the coral and going through both loops. So for now, what you need to do is into the next corner space, it's 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles, changing colour on the last treble, and into your middle spaces, it's 3 trebles of the royal blue, remembering to change colours on the last treble back into the coral for your next corner. If you do your 3 trebles into the middle space down the bottom here as well in your royal blue, change colour back to the coral, and I'll meet you at the end of the round and show you what to do from there. So you can see that I've just done my last 3 royal blue trebles into the middle space, and now I'm at the final corner for round 3. Into that corner we want to do 3 trebles into the corner space with the coral, remembering to crochet over the top of the royal blue. So there is 1 treble and 2, and 3. We then need to chain 1. I'm just going to let go of that blue while I just finish off this round. We need to do a double crochet into the 3rd chain. So you've got your 3 chains just here from the start of the round. I want to go into the 3rd chain and just pull that coral through, yarn over, and pull through both, and you finish round 3. Now we're keeping both colours attached, and it looks like we're going to be working with them both for this round as well. So for round 4, with yarn C, which is the coral, we want to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going back to our trebles. So we want to pick up our royal blue again and crochet over it, because we're going to be using that further on in this round. So I'm going to put it back over the front of my work, and then I'm going to yarn over, and I need to do 2 trebles into the corner space. So when I go in through, I'm just going to make sure I've got that blue over the top of my hook as well, so I'm catching it in the stitch, and I'm doing 1 treble into that space, and then we need to change colour on this 2nd treble again. So I'm now dropping my coral and going back to my royal blue and pulling it through the last 2 loops that are on my hook, and I'm going to keep the coral at the front of my work and work now with the royal blue. So we're doing the same stitches as we go around, as it's a granny square. So basically a granny square is always going to be 3 trebles into your middle spaces, and in your corners are always going to be 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles, to end up with this sort of effect. But I'm just making the video because obviously with the different colour changes. So for our middle spaces on this round is the royal blue, and our corner spaces are the coral again. So yarn over with your blue, carry over your coral, 3 trebles into the first space. There's 1, 2, and 3, and it will be 3 trebles in the next space as well, but change colour on your 3rd treble, ready for your corner trebles in your coral. So yarn over, 1, 2, and then pull up a loop, pull through 2, drop your blue over the front of your work, pick up your coral and pull through 2. My ends are starting to get really tangled now. You can see here they get really twisted. That's the only frustrating thing about working with 2 different colours. Right, into your corner, going back to the coral, like I said, it's 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles. So there's 1 treble, 2, and 3, chain 2, there's 1 and 2, and 3 more trebles. 1 and 2, and change colour on the 3rd. Dropping my coral, picking up my blue and pulling it through the last 2 loops, and you can tug on your coral now to tighten that one if you need to. So you're going to be doing 3 trebles in the 2 spaces, and your corners are 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles. Remember, your 2 spaces are blue and your corners are coral, so remember to change colours in the appropriate places, and don't forget to carry over your yarn. I'll see you at the end of the round. I've done my last 3 trebles here of the blue, and I've changed back to the coral. And into the corner space we want to do 3 trebles going over the blue. 1, 2, and 3. We then need to chain 2, 1 and 2. And we need to finish off with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the chains that we did at the beginning of the round. So I'm going in through the 3rd one, pulling up a loop, pulling that one through, and you can now fasten off the coral colour. We won't be using that one again, but make sure to keep your royal blue attached. So in round 5, we're going to be working with the 2 different blues. We've still got the royal blue attached, and we want to work with the sky blue as well. So my royal blue is attached to this corner just here. So we need to attach the sky blue to this same corner, just as you normally would, where it says join it to any corner space. Just tie it onto the corner space. So there's that one. And we're starting off this round with the sky blue. So I'm going to put my hook in there and pull up a loop and then chain 3. 1, 2 and 3. I then want to do 2 trebles into the corner space, but remember we've got the sky blue at the back. So pull it over the front so you remember to crochet over it, because we will be using it shortly. So we're doing 2 trebles into the corner space. There's 1. And 2. We're not changing colour on that 3rd treble. We now want to do 3 trebles into the next space, keeping with the sky blue. Remember to crochet over your royal blue. We want to change colour on the 3rd treble. So there's 1, 2, pulling through 2 loops, dropping it over my front, picking up my royal blue and pulling it through. Now you use your royal blue to do 3 trebles into the middle space, crocheting over your sky blue. So there's 1, 2, and we're going to change back to the sky blue on the 3rd treble. So I'm dropping that one and picking up the sky. So 3 sky blues into the next space, and we're not changing colour here because we're going to use the sky blue for the corner as well. So there's 3. I just did 4 trebles there, didn't I? I do apologise. There's my 3 trebles. Ignore that. And now into the corner we want to do 3 trebles, 2 chains and 3 trebles. Remember to crochet over your royal blue. So there's 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, and then 3 more trebles into that space, and don't change colour. 1, 2 and 3. So for this round you're doing 3 sky blue trebles in the first space, changing colour to the royal blue in the middle space, changing colour to the sky blue on the last space, and your corner is 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles in the sky blue as well. So I will meet you at the end of the round. So I'm at the end of round 5 and I've just done my last 3 sky blue trebles into the last space before the corner. I've actually cut the end of my yarn of my royal blue because we can fasten that one off now, and I don't want to be crocheting over it if I don't need it, so I can move that one out the way now. We want to do 3 trebles into the corner space with the sky blue. So there's 1, 2 and 3. And now we're finishing off this round with 2 chains and a slip stitch into the 3rd chain. And then you can fasten off the sky blue as well. We're going to be working with yarn E in the next 2 rounds, which is the bright red. So you can fasten that to any of the corner spaces. My red's attached and on my hook. This is round 6. We've got 2 more rounds of colour rounds before we add the border. We want to do 3 chains. 1, 2 and 3. And this is going to be a standard granny square round. So we're doing 2 trebles into the corner space. 1 and 2. 3 trebles in every space along. 1, 2 and 3, 3 in the next, 1, 2 and 3, 3 in the next, 1, 2 and 3, 3 in the next, 1, 2 and 3, and then you're at your corner, which is going to be the same as all the other corners that we've done so far, which is 3 trebles, 2 chains and 3 trebles. So there's 1, 2 and 3 trebles, 2 chains, 1 and 2 and 3 more trebles. 1, 2 and 3. So it's a standard granny round, 3 trebles in every space along, 3 trebles, 2 chains, 3 trebles in the corners, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. Final corner for round 6, we want to do 3 trebles into the corner space. Oh, my non-working yarn just got tangled there. So there's 1, 2 and 3, chain 1, and then do a double crochet into the 3rd chain. So in through that one, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And we're now on to the final round in the colour before we add the border. So we're chaining 2. Now this round isn't a granny stitch round. This is going to be a bit different, but the same as what we did on the Cinderella granny square recently. So we are doing half trebles along into these stitches. I can't tell you exactly how many there should be due to copyright reasons, as I explained at the beginning of the video, but I will do a few with you. So we are not doing any into the corner space. We're going straight into the stitches of the square. I've yarned over, going into my first stitch and pulling up a loop. So I've got 3 on my hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 stitches, and I've just done 1. Yarn over again into your next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3, yarn over, pull through all 3. So I've just done 3 half trebles. I need to half treble to the first corner, and I'll meet you at the corner to show you what you need to do there. I've done all my half trebles along. Into my corner I need to do 2 half trebles, 2 chains, 2 half trebles. So yarn over and into your corner, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3, and I've done 1, 2, chain 2, 1 and 2, and then 2 more half trebles into the corner space. 1 and 2. So do your half trebles around, and I'll meet you at the final corner to show you how to finish this round off. So into your final corner you want to do 2 half trebles, so yarn over, there's 1 half treble and 2, chain 2, 1 and 2, and finish off with a slip stitch into your third, no, not your third, finish off with a slip stitch into your second chain from the 2 chains that you did at the beginning of the round. And you can then go ahead and fasten off your red, because it's time to do our border now, so you can join your white to any of your corner spaces. So my white's attached, and we want to chain 2, 1 and 2. Now this border is pretty much exactly the same as every border that we've done for I don't know how many issues now, but I will just do one side with you just to refresh you. So we want to do 1 half treble in each of the next 10 stitches. Now I'm using a half treble for my border because my square is on not the smaller side, I suppose, but an average size, like pretty much the same size as most of the squares that I've done already. So I'm using the same stitch as what is in the magazine. If you find that your square has come out really big, you can do a double crochet stitch instead, like we have done on previous issues, but just do it in the same amount as what I'm showing you. So if you're doing the double crochet, it would be 10 single, 2 in the next, 11 single, and then in your corner would be 1 double crochet, 2 chains, 1 double crochet. We'll carry on for the half trebles for now. I've just done 2. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, 2 in the next, so either the half treble or the double crochet depending on what stitch you're using. I've done 1 in that stitch, and now I've gone into the same stitch and done a second, and then I want to do 11 more single ones. Oh, my hook's caught. There we go. There's 1 into my next stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that one didn't work properly. So I've done 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 and 10, 2 in the next, 1 and 2, and then 11 singles. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11, and we're at our first corner. Into the corner you want to do 1 half treble, 2 chains, 1 half treble. If you're using the double crochet stitch instead, it's 1 double crochet, 2 chains, 1 double crochet. So there's 1, 2 chains and 1 half treble. If you want to continue around, it's 10 stitches, either the double crochet or the half treble, 2 in the next, 11 stitches. Your corners are 1 half treble, 2 chains, 1 half treble, or 1 double crochet, 2 chains, 1 double crochet. I'll meet you at the end of the round. So I'm at the final corner, and into that space you want to do 1 half treble or 1 double crochet depending on what stitch you've done going round. You then want to chain 2, 1 and 2, and finish off with a slip stitch into the second chain at the start of the round. So you can just pull that one straight through, and there we go, there's our square finished. Cut your yarn, fasten that one off, and there is our square complete. I don't even know what to call this one right now, because obviously according to the Hachette guide, this is the Snow White Granny Square. According to everything with the titles on my videos, this is the Belle Granny Square, because Hachette mixed everything up. But I hope you've enjoyed making this square. I certainly have. I thought it was nice to do all the different colour changes on the Granny Square, and it was just nice to do something different again. Leave this one a like if you are using these videos alongside your subscription, just to help me gauge how many people are still using the videos. If you need to comment below for whatever reason, if you need any help, if you just want to chat, please do comment and I'll reply back to everybody. Remember to hit that subscribe button as well if you want a notification for the next video, because I am absolutely useless at posting on social media that I've uploaded the videos. So you'll just get first view, basically. You'll get them a hell of a lot sooner if you hit the subscribe button. So for now, I guess all that's left to say is have an absolutely fantastic week, and I will see you for our Cinderella portrait square in the next issue, which I'm dreading because we've got another character to do, but I will see you for that one soon. See you then.